My colleague and world news anchor Diane Sawyer joins us with the latest in our ongoing ABC News series, Hidden America. This one from the streets of Chicago. Diane, the powerful report we're about to see really takes us inside what can only be described as a hidden American war zone.
It is true, but we want to say at the outset, as we know, Chicago is simply a great city filled with wonderful people. But as we're going to show you, there are some areas where small children really do live, as we said, in a kind of battle zone. So listen to this number. At least 419 people were killed this year across a dozen neighborhoods in Chicago, and that is more than all the U.S. troops killed in Afghanistan this year. The cause, rival gangs creating anarchy, and so Nightline and World News decided to try something different, something unprecedented. We gathered 38 members of rival gangs, past and present, from Hispanics to their black rivals, to talk about the slaughter and how to make it stop. Tonight in America, tens of thousands of children are living in a war zone. One of them is a little boy named Ralph.
Hey, Ralph, it's Diane.
Ralph is an irrepressible force of nature.
That's it.
He is also a child who pulls down the blinds in case someone shoots into his living room.
I really don't go outside. Just scared. Or is they gonna shoot me or stab me?
He hears gunshots day and night.
You see the alley? It be gangbangers running and shooting.
It was a gunshot that killed his grandmother, who was just standing outdoors.
This my grandma.
And it says, "Rest in peace." For your grandma.
We used to eat watermelon a lot, and we used to eat noodles a lot. Every time she used to fix me something, we used to share it, and I love that.
So Ralph has a plan to keep his mother safe. On the front door, gates, a padlock, bolts. On the back door, bolts, a bike in front of the door, a trash can wedged against that, and a chair against the trash can. Inside his fortress, he says someday he plans to be a superhero.
Hey.
Named Ralph.
And I'm gonna change this city into a new city by taking all the guns out of the city.
Like the guns that killed 10-year-old Julian's big brother, Manny.
My brother was shot and killed Halloween night at a gas station when we went to get a can of Coca-Cola.
Your brother was paralyzed.
Yes.
Did you go to see him?
Yeah, I went to see him a couple times. But my brother, he wasn't healing up right, so it was a really tough decision for my parents to make, but they decided to let him pass.
Did they talk to you about it?
I remember the day in the hospital, I told my mom, man, I can't wait until Mandy could come home. My mom said, Mandy isn't coming home. So I just want to make sure he knows, I love you, Mandy.
They are children growing up in neighborhoods where haunted mothers walk the street carrying pictures of lost daughters and sons.
I keep telling them to stop, they just don't want to stop. They not listening.
Where's that coming from?
Where police are stretched thin, city officials enraged.
Take your gang conflict away from a 7-year-old. Who raised you?
The city is up against 100,000 gang members, young, angry, leaderless, some just 13 years old and carrying a gun. So we send out word we want to try something different. With the anti-violence group Ceasefire, we ask to hold a meeting. Would they come together? Would they show up? One by one, they agree to come. Gang members, some in the past, most in the present. They're told to get rid of their weapons.
No box cutters, no knives.
Some of them are seasoned criminals. Nearly 90% have been arrested on everything from drug dealing to attempted murder. One arrested 50 times. He's a member of the Hispanic gang 2-6. He's called Pac-Man. His friend is Puppet.
I enjoy fighting, I'm not gonna lie.
There was also Mr. Blast from the Four Corner Hustlers.
I used to go through shootouts, getting into altercations with police.
Jessica, a black disciple, and Dre from the Black Pea-Stones. It is dusk when 38 of them come to St. Sabina Church on the turbulent South Side. It is headed by an impassioned priest, Father Michael Flager.
At the end of the day, we stopped the shooting. I'm the happiest man in the world.
And the head of Ceasefire Illinois, Tio Hardeman, makes it clear this is an unprecedented event.
We had guys from the South Side, West Side, and the Latino community.
People who might be shot if they invade each other's territory. Walk in and sit down.
Thank you.
We know they are suspicious of us and each other. We tell them our purpose, find one concrete action that night that can help stop the violence. There, too, my ABC News colleague Alex Perez, who grew up in these neighborhoods. And so the meeting begins. We pose the question.
Can it be that there's no way to do something?
It's so deep, I don't think anything really can solve nothing, really.
Right away, one by one, they start to tell us we don't understand how they are caught up in a vortex of increasing violence.
It's never gonna stop because it keeps growing like a disease.
People ain't out here just shooting to shoot. If they shooting, they trying to kill.
And kill you over something as petty as an insult, a text.
Revenge. People do something to one of your friends, you want to do something back. Revenge.
Everybody want to be, you know, famous, and everybody want to get their name out there and stuff.
And the biggest name out there is a 17-year-old rapper named Keef, who's signed by a major record label, Interscope. But police say they arrested him for pulling a gun on an officer. His YouTube video has received 17 million hits. On it, he reminds people they better not talk to the cops. And remember, he's talking to kids who say they can get guns as easy as a bag of chips.
How many here think that they believe that they could be that voice to try to put somebody in check or say, man, you don't want to do that? Or
But not everybody does.
If you finna go shoot somebody and I step in your way and you real heated like you want to shoot them, you gonna probably shoot me to get out your way so you get to the next man.
What would happen if instead of grabbing that gun, you waited an hour?
An hour could be your last hour. You ain't got time to think you.
You gonna be the prey or you the predator?
You're gonna be what?
The prey or the predator? Which one you gonna be?
And when we come back, we take you inside some of their lives outside this room.
Help us. Help us try to be better.
The impassioned into the night.
We don't need Diane to come up in here and say for us what we need to do as a people.